Welcome to a new video. Today I want to talk to you about the mindset you should have when you're investing into courses, coaches, mentorship, any type of education in animation space or in general. And I want to share interesting feedback I got from my own client from the second round of animation for social media. After each round, I like to do a little survey with my clients, ask them how was it for them? Is there a topic you wish it was covered more? Was there something that bothered you? What you wish could have been improved? What you like? What you didn't like? How did this change your content approach? What are your next steps? So I like to have some sort of feedback from them to see what can I improve for the next cohort, of course, and how can I make this product the best as possible for animators who want to promote their project on social media or use the social media as a way to attract clients. So I didn't expect to get this feedback, and it really took me by surprise. And it was that the 21 hour of recorded material was too little for the price someone was getting. This was a little bit shocking. I didn't expect this to get. I actually leaned, my personal intuition was that 21 hours was too long, too much, that it would be overwhelming for someone who is just starting out to learn about the content space, and it needs to implement all this and to kind of see what he's going to do with all that information. But for this person, it was too little. And here is where I think the problem lies with this statement. And it kind of stems, this type of mindset, I think it stems from our school's education. And that is that we are so bombarded and infested with information that we have so much knowledge, but so little implementation, so little of it we actually apply it. And I think with that similar mindset, a lot of animators and artists are actually investing even today into courses and mentorship, looking at how many hours of content or recorded materials or how many Zoom calls you get in a certain program, but none of that really matters. What really matters is if someone can provide you with a piece of information in like 10 minutes and that you can apply it and that can transform your content or your animation or whatever you're after, that is valuable, that amount of money. I'll give you my example. I recently enrolled into a membership that cost $1,000 per year, and most of the lessons in there, to be honest, I already heard them in some different way, some different capacity. So I didn't bought the membership for the information necessarily. I bought it for transformation. And what I gained from that membership, there is infinite amount of new information I heard, but how much of it I actually applied, because there was that's a membership that actually encompasses both in TikTok and Instagram and digital products and all kinds of stuff bundled together. And I can see there's so many different things that don't apply to me, and even the things that do apply to me, I cannot apply them right now in this stage of my business. I might apply them in a year or 2 years or in 5 years. But what I actually took from that membership was the mindset shift that I can and I will post every day, or at least like 5 to 6 times a week, compared to posting only twice a week or 3 times a week. And only that mindset shift is valuable $1,000, regardless of all the additional information. So you should think of it like that. What type of transformation did that bring in your life? Not the amount of new information that you gain, because information is not scarce anymore. It's not a mystery anymore. Anyone can plug 100 different good hooks for your content. Anyone can tell you what a good retention graph looks like. You can look that up on any YouTube video or ChatGPT. So the information itself is not so novel or important why people buy a certain program. What you're actually buying for is the commitment you take to apply the information and the support of the mentor who is going to guide you and help you when you stumble upon while you're implementing that information. So 21 hours, when you binge it like a Netflix, yeah, I guess it could be. I mean, I'm someone who honestly also binges a lot when I'm buying a certain program. I like to have a lot of materials to kind of sink all of that in, and to kind of gather the mindset of the person who is teaching me, to kind of see what made them successful. And if I could take like a 1% or 2% of them into my own life, then I found that to be a success. So I'm that type of learner who likes to listen a lot and sink in a lot. And that's why I personally provided that amount of material for my students as well. However, I don't think that's necessary to watch all of that to apply one single thing. However, if you just binge that and watch that, of course it's going to be little if you don't apply any of that. So I want to encourage you that whenever you are enrolling into new memberships and new courses, to look at it differently, from a different perspective. If you never gained a single piece of new information, if everything was old, and 90%, the more you invest in yourself, especially in a field that you are already like junior, mid, or expert animator, or a content creator, or if you're already doing content for a while, you already know, you already have like a framework of knowledge. But just because we have certain knowledge doesn't mean that we applied it. Like if knowledge was all that was needed, we all would have had a six-pack and we all would have been millionaires, because the knowledge is out there. We all know how to theoretically eat healthy, exercise a couple of times a week, and that's it. What's so hard about that? The implementation of it, not the knowledge of it. So always think of, will I apply this program? Will this program be worth it if I apply it? So it's never the information, it's the application of something. So yeah, that's something I wanted to share with you guys, how to think about investing in new programs. However, I do have to caveat it, even for this client who took most of the time to watch the content without too much implementation, that doesn't mean the program wasn't beneficial for them as well. Why? Because a lot of the, I mean, I saw that on my own example as well. A lot of the times we buy programs and mentorship for our future selves. And me personally, I was the first one who spent a $2,000 on a business coach while I didn't have a business for the first 8 months. And someone would said, well, you just lost your money, you wasted your money and time. But no, I needed a lot of time for my mindset to adjust to the frequency of someone who can have an online business as an animator with a full-time job and a part-time creator, content creator. So how do you actually do that? How do you position yourself, your messaging, all of that? I'm not even mentioning the psychological aspect of coming out on social media. So I think that even when we buy a program that we don't apply, I think that's extremely beneficial, because it plants the seed for who you are becoming in the future. And this animator might not apply anything for another 3 months, 6 months, even 3 years, but maybe the fourth year, something will click and they will have a solid base. They will not be a novice, or it will not be so unknown to them. So I think everything that we invest in ourselves come back to us like a very fruitful investment. But when it's gonna happen, when are we gonna see the result? That only happens, depends from us. When are we ready to apply it actually? So yeah, that was it for this video. Hope it was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.